G'day everyone, I'm back. Might not hear from me for a little while, but what am I talking about? That's the point. Talking about sun rays, as you can see. Why do we draw them like that? We draw them leading back to the source, because that's what we see. From when we were little kids, right up to now. So why do we believe the sun's so far away? How can we look at sun rays coming through clouds like this and seeing it our whole lives and not think to ourselves, how can it be local? How can it be localized to just under the sun? How can it be only affecting the light, or the atmosphere under the clouds where the sun appears to be? Apparently it's not there. It's 93 million miles away. So shouldn't those rays just be everywhere if it's doing that to the atmosphere? Like, you got to understand. That's what we're seeing, but we don't see it everywhere. And for them stupid science to work, we would have to see it everywhere. It's the only way it could be. And what else I reckon? You know how I'm showing my model? If you haven't seen my model, it's in my playlist. But I reckon the sun rises and gets higher and lower to the plane. I don't know how this is being achieved, because we can't go more than 12k up, 12k down, or whatever. And yeah, I'm just wondering, because I reckon the sun, it gets lower to the horizon as it's out over the Pacific, which, looking at my model, the way I see the land masses being, with the southern land masses at the bottom, or in that bottom half, facing the southern rotation point. Well, I reckon the sun's, because it has to ride the ecliptic, so it has to be rising and lowering. But if you think about it, with time, the time would be different, because as it gets higher, the higher it gets, the further its light projects. The further its light projects, the further it can, be seen from. So the light seems to, I don't know, it appears to spend more time in that area, if you know what I mean, and it can be seen from further. So those three continents could be seeing it further out, and then as it gets lower to the horizon and it's heading out past the top of America and then up over Alaska, and that's about where it's closest, in between Alaska and Russia, about there. It's the lowest point that it would get to on the ecliptic, and so its light's not reaching as far. So also like in the north, when it's lower, so it goes up over the top past Canada, Alaska, Russia and all that. It goes up over there, but it's lower to the ground. So it's out over the Pacific, which is, the top part of the Pacific, which is above there. And because the center is Cairo, when it comes down out across the bottom, you have the three southern continents pulled around closer together. So the light's up higher and it can reach to further across. But as you can see, it comes in here closer to the northern continents as we know them, around the North Pole there. It's closer to them than it is when it's at the underneath, going over the southern continents, if you see what I'm saying. And the azimuth works properly, but it's a clock, so it's evenly spaced, as if though the sun was staying at one height, but it's not. The sun's rising and lowering, so therefore its light's being projected further and not as far. When it goes up over the top, its light projects not as far, but when it's on the south, its light projects a lot further, and so it works out, but it's just its height that's different and how close it is to the land. Okay, so moving on. Well, I know a lot of people have been trying to work out the moon and understand it, and a bit up in the air about it. How you can see the face of it and you don't see around the backside of it. Like, as you'd probably understand, looking at it coming from your right hand side and then exiting on your left hand side, at its furthest point, you should be able to see like around the side of it if there's a ball, not just see one face constantly that doesn't change, or you don't get to see around the edge of. Well, maybe maybe there's an explanation for it. I've been thinking about it. People like if you know Tiffany, she says like the moon's her own light, and also she talks about when she filmed it or when she took photos of it, and she says that it turned. She saw it come from one side to the other just like this, and she's saying that it turned, but I say it doesn't turn. I say it's you that's turning. You're not keeping the camera facing the same way it was when you took your initial photo, the first one. What you need to do is keep the angle of the camera the same. So basically your camera would be upside down when you take the last shots, or from halfway to the last shots. And also gets bigger and smaller, and I think that's atmosphere. Or it could be because it's closer, because it does the same as the sun. Comes down lower and gets up higher, depending on where you are. Like if you're around above the North Pole, which on my map you should be able to understand, you probably see it closer to the ground. So you can see the clouds in front of it and all this sort of thing maybe. And yeah, get some beautiful shots. But why do we only see one face? Well, the way I sort of look at it, or am looking at it, is maybe it's like looking at a painting. Like this one, famous one. And there's something that people noticed about paintings a long time ago. The eyes follow you. No matter where you are looking at it, the eyes are looking at you. There's many different paintings that show this. Some people have done it themselves. I've done it myself, and someone here's done a nice one of Donald Trump. So yeah, okie dokie. I thought people would like that for a bit of a laugh. But as you can see here, look at these big eyes. Just imagine them following you around the room, and they do. If anyone knows this painting, then you know that yeah, both the dog's eyes and the little boy's eyes follow wherever you go. So I'm thinking maybe the moon might work the same way. So no matter which way you're looking at it from, you see one face, like the eyes, just staring at you. So yeah, this could be how it's working. It makes sense, and we see it. We've seen things that do this. Paintings, pictures, anything where the person's looking straight forward at the camera or being painted as though they are. The eyes follow you constantly. So yeah, it's just a thought that yeah, maybe the moon works the same as eyes in a painting. No matter which angle you look at it from, you see the same thing, because that's what we're seeing. And I'd say the moon does the same thing as the sun. Rides the ecliptic, gets higher and lower, and thus can be seen different angles, different heights. And with the sun's getting low, like really low in some places. You're going to see it through the clouds behind it, clouds in front of it. See, I don't think that it's as high as what they're saying. You follow the sun rays back. Does it look like it's going to be that high? I don't think so. I don't think so at all. I think if you follow the sun rays, you're going to be lucky to get, like, I don't know, 1,000 mile. I don't think it's that high. But it depends on where you are in the world. Like over me and over South Africa, South America, you'd be able to see it quite high if it's doing what I think it's doing. So yeah, this is just, I don't know, making sense of what we have a few questions and a bit puzzled about. So I hope that helps everybody. And yeah, God bless you all. And it's good to be talking again. Bye.